Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're looking at the 5th episode of What If FANASY. And, I've been working on a special map. First of all, I added these two little lakes right up here. They will be explored in today's episode. But, I added a new map, called the terrain map. It is not fully finished, but you can see what everything means. And, yeah, I completed this continent, the first continent. There's still the North continent, and then the two over here. But just know that it is a work in progress. But it probably won't be needed to be updated for a long time, which is good. So we can see how, like, the orange team, they're basically just in the desert, if we look at it. And so that's some really cool stuff. And I even added some, like, the mountains that we saw from a while back. But we're going to go ahead and start today's video. Starting off, we are going to look at some expansion into these new frontiers, sort of, as the terrain map is here, and they're not going to be able to expand that well for this area. They'll explore a little bit, but it'll go better. Like, for instance, the lime team. The lime team can explore a lot better. And eventually, with the help of the plum country, they are able to explore a lot of this area, actually. Like this much. And slowly but surely, across all fronts, we see major exploration. And eventually the first lake is discovered. And some more land up there. Which leads us to the expansion update. First of all, we have the lime team expanding tremendously. And they go ahead and take all this land. The plum team, however, is going to start expanding into this land as well. And they eventually explore a little bit more too. Meanwhile, the orange team is going to go ahead and start expanding into these mountain areas, but not that much. Purple team spans the brown team. They have gotten like a boost basically, so they're a little bit stronger, so they're able to take some land. But we mostly see the gold team taking land, and they actually stretch very far. And all this land is colonized, with air quotes, because it really isn't. There's no one living here. And they go ahead and send more exploration groups out. And they find the other lake, and they surround the entire lake. So far in this video, we've actually explored a lot. And we're coming up on half the continent being found. But right before this happens, we see a group splitting away from this group. So we see a light gold team splitting away in the north. It's basically a rebellion that takes over the whole government. They reform it, but they decide to not hang on to some of this land. So all that land goes back. And the few people who were living there are going to form a new country. Like this. And now we need to add their capital. And that's going to be right here. Now we need to put the major city on it. There we go. And then we're just going to plot some other major cities around And there we go. So there's a major city update. And now we're actually going to see a new country forming. And it is going to be over here. And it kind of pops out from... It pops out from the pink team, who goes ahead and explores some of this area right here. And they eventually link up with the plum team area. And the pink team is going to go ahead and settle on this, some of this land before exploring up more. And they go around the coast. Now, if we remember, the terrain in this area is pretty good. And they eventually go around this. And they'll come up on the desert up here. So they found another desert, and they explored the desert island. So, because they came up on the desert, they're just going to go... They have decided that they just want to go around. So they do that, and they eventually go up into the middle and make a new settlement. So they go around somewhere around here, I would say. They go through a little part of the desert. But, they try to make a settlement, but it doesn't really work. They decide to go through the desert even more, though. And they don't really explore, they just, they're mostly in the sea. Because they want to get out of this area and find a new civilization. Eventually, though, the people die out. But about 20 people survive, and they report back to the capital about all the explored land, and they bring back a map. Which leads to more exploration down in the good land, down here, in the main parts. To about up to there. And all this land, just like this, has been taken. Meanwhile, over here, the terrain is very good, on the whole side of the island. They don't know that, though, so they just keep going up. And they find this island here, and they start going around just like the other pink team did. Oh wow, these are two pink teams. We're going to change this pink team's color. And we already have one of those. We'll change it again to this. And we don't have one of those yet. And they eventually colonize just a little bit up there. But they also start wrapping around the lake. And the group up here keeps going. And they probably explored about this much land. They keep heading up, though. By now, they've reached the swamplands. And it's very hard to go on. So they just kind of stop. And they decide that they're going to go through the swamplands. And start heading back. They don't really know where they are. So they just keep going. Until they reach some of their other explored land. And link back up with this area. And now we reach the age where countries can expand and grow very big. So we see that with this country growing. The gold team is growing. And the brown team grows. They don't grow too much, though. And the purple team is going to grow pretty well, too. There we go. I'm thinking about adding a province map for this series. I don't really know if I should or if I shouldn't. So, tell me in the comments if I should. Anyway, we're going to get on with a war And it's gonna be over here. The yellow team is wanting some land. And of course, there's no alliances over here, so it's good. So they decide that they want to declare war on the gold team. The gold team is actually pretty strong, stronger than the yellow team. But most of their forces were up there, so they have to head down. By that point, the capital is starting to get encircled. But the troops make it, and they arrive, and they basically encircled the troops that were there, cut them off, and you can see how strong this country is as they start heading down now. Eventually, this whole area is captured. They let them go. They let them off with like a warning, basically, and they take this much land. And, yeah, I think I'm going to add the province map now. It would help with the war scenarios a lot. So, I will do that, and I'll catch back up with you after I'm done. Okay, and here is the new updated map with all the provinces on. So, we're going to keep this on. It mostly goes to major cities, so, most of the major cities are fine. I think there's like a few, like, right here in the orange team that don't have the best placement. Let me just fix that. You can actually see it a lot. This map tells you a lot about just different areas. It goes with the terrain map that I made, just like this. So you can see up here I talked about that river, like this version of the Nile River. You can see how all the provinces along it right here, they're all pretty well, yeah. So, there we go. Probably not going to have this on unless for the, for wars. Now, let's go on with the rest of the video. And starting off, the orange team and the lime team have been planning that secret plan in the middle of the desert over here. The thing is, they want it to be in the middle. But there's a problem with that, and that is that there are these two countries here. So, they're going to declare war on them to get some of the center part. The green team marches through the top part of the pink team. And then they march into this team right here. And they actually get to the outskirts of the capital and eventually take it. Meanwhile, the lime team has been marching through on the other side at the same time. And they're going through the pink team and this team. This team basically collapses. And by the end of this, the orange team has taken all of this, and the pink team surrenders over. And then we can take a look at the peace treaty. And here we go. So here's the peace treaty. And what they basically do is, this country is gone, and it all goes over to the lime team. So the lime team takes all this area over, and all the green team takes all this over. And the rest falls back to the pink team. And they stay here, but a lot of the people from the country up here, the dark blue team, they all go down into the purple team and they start living there, which will boost their population. So this area is pretty much desolate, so they can continue on with their plan. And now we have the last event of the video, and that is a new country forming. And I think we should use a purple color. We have actually a lot of purple and blues. We don't have very many warm colors. So, let me zoom out real quick, check. This will be our new country. Now they're set up on the island right here. It's a reddish color. This is not actual red. Actual red looks like It shouldn't be actual red, I don't think. Red. This red. Yeah, they're a little bit different. So, I'm just gonna replace it with that. There we go. Here's our new color. And they're gonna expand down onto the mainland a little bit. They don't end up going very far. Probably about this much. And they set up their capital, of course, on the island. Right there. Capital there. And the city there. And there we go. And that's gonna do it for today's episode. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Share support, and I'll see you in the next video.